Hey everyone, I'm Michael Seiger, publisher of DomainSherpa.com, and this is the Domain Sherpa Review. This is the show where we get into the minds of successful domain name investors using real examples so we can learn strategies and tactics. Our sponsors include nichewebsites.com, a service that builds and ranks websites so you can focus on your business. Estabot.com, a domain name appraisal and productivity tool set that we use on this show to gather intelligence about all the domains we discuss. And DNX.com, a reverse auction domain name marketplace where buy it now prices decrease over time. All three sponsors have links in the upper right-hand corner of all pages on DomainSherpa.com. Joining us today on the Domain Sherpa Review are four Sherpas and industry thought leaders. In order from left to right, we have Adam Dicker, CEO of dnforum.com, nichewebsites.com, and publisher of theartofthename.com. Michael Berkens, publisher of thedomains.com, co-founder of Right of the Dot, and founder of the mostwanteddomains.com marketplace. Paige Howe, founder and president of joedomains.com and domainoutlet.com. And Rick Schwartz, the Domain King and co-founder of the Traffic Domain Industry Conference. Gentlemen, welcome to this week's show.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you.
Hello.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to try something a little bit different this week. We're taping a day early. I'm going to launch it a day early on Wednesday. That'll give everybody a day to get more domains in for next week's theme. As always, our show has three sections: a portfolio of investor-submitted domain names to discuss and value, a marketplace list from namejet.com, and we'll wrap up with our available or registered game and some topics for the after show. For transparency, I asked the Sherpas if they will benefit from discussing any of the domains on today's show. Do you have any names at NameJet that we're going to discuss today, or did you submit a domain name to the Health Beauty portfolio for review?
I submitted one to the Health and Beauty.
All right, so we'll ask you for that one after the list, Adam. I think I have you going close to last on that, so we'll ask you for what name that is. Anybody else?
I do not.
Nope.
Okay, great. All right, we're going to move right into the first section. In the Domain Portfolio Review, we take user-submitted domain names and portfolios and provide honest and constructive feedback to the owners. If you're watching this show on YouTube, click on the link in the description to see the list of domain names discussed in today's show. It might be helpful as a learning exercise to pause the video at this point, look at the domains, set your own values for them, which ones you think are valuable, which ones you think you should drop, then listen to the Sherpas discuss what they like, why, and at what price. You might learn some interesting tidbits and a different way to look at the domains. This week, we're looking at the health and beauty theme. We asked the Domain Sherpa audience to submit domain names in this category, and we had over 75 submissions. A few were trimmed. Please, please, please submit by the deadline. Keep on topic. And try to capitalize the first letter of each word, not the entire word. Don't lowercase the entire word. It's more work for me. It's more work for the Sherpas to actually see what you're trying to say with the domains. The list today starts with 5ml.com, as in 5 milliliters or a teaspoon dose, and ends with zitbusters.com. Mike Berkens, let's start with you. This is a long list. Can you identify 5 to 10 domain names that you really like, why you like them, and a retail price for each if you own them and were listing them for sale at your marketplace?
No. Okay, no particular order. Mouse rinse. I like mouserinse.com because it's a product. It exists. I don't know how many people would actually buy it online. But it's it's something, so definitely I think that's a good name.
What would you price it at, Mike?
I'd probably price it about 20-ish.
All right, so 20K-ish.
Yeah. Nutrition and health, I think that's a good name. I mean, certainly both big categories, the words are used together, so I think that's a reasonable name. I probably would put that somewhere around 15,000. Because it's has the and in it. I like reverses. I don't know what really has to do with beauty or health. I guess unless you'd like reverse aging or something. But I mean, reverses I think is it's a nice one-word domain. Something I guess again around the 20-25 mark is probably what I would try to get for it. Sore muscles. Something that's fairly common. especially in people of my age. And so people, I'm sorry, are always searching for stuff to use for sore muscles. So it's something, and I think, it's for something for sure. Probably, again, I would be probably in the 15 to 20 range for it, I think, offhand. The Perfect Exercise, is just a kind of a neat brandable name. Don't think you'd ever get more than maybe 5,000 for it, if that. But I do like the name. A couple more, naturally.org, I like. A lot of stuff natural, that's definitely when it comes to health and beauty. Organic, it's not as good as organic, but naturally, I think it's a good name. Medical Alerts is a good name. I know Medical Alert is a big sort of industry, for people when they get older and have the little pin or the little communication device stuck around their neck, and they can call for help or call for ambulance or whatever. I've fallen and I can't get up kind of thing. So I think that's definitely worse in that 25-ish area as well. I don't know, luxury makeup kind of has a ring to it, although, we're talking about higher end brands. I'm not sure they even refer to themselves as luxury makeup, but I kind of like it. E-perfume is definitely, it's a brandable, and something I definitely don't do much of, but this Drink Responsibly is probably a good name, somewhere around that 5 to 10 mark.
All right. Thanks, Mike. Let's go over to Paige right next door. What do you think, Paige?
Well, I think this is a good list. It's a big list. I'll speak to some of the ones that Mike didn't touch on. I agree with most of his. I like Fitness Planner as one of the best names on the list. I think the online planning, whether it be for food or weight or goals or something that you're trying to achieve, the idea that you're planning it out online and kind of having an online coach has really seems to have taken off. So I thought Fitness Planner was a good name. I mean, it's not a, I don't think that takes it to the level where it's over 20,000, but I think it's definitely, maybe 5 to 15. If someone wanted to, I thought Health Finance was good. You don't really hear the word a lot. Maybe Medical Finance might even be better, but I thought it was 2 strong words. The other ones I had in the best category
Paige,
were...
hold on one second before you get to the other ones. Health Finance, I didn't even get that one. What does it mean?
Well, I
why
guess
did that
that's
appeal
the
to you?
thing is, you almost need it to mean something in the future. Maybe when we all start paying for our own health care, you will finance your health. But the fact that it was 2 strong words, and people may have to actually start paying for their own health care, that's what kind of, would be the type of thing where, again, I'm going to hope over time it gets more valuable, so I'll probably buy it now with not a lot of competition and then hope it does better later.
All right, so what's the value today if you were to list it at joedomains.com?
If we were to list it, probably 8,000.
Okay. All right, and you were going to say a couple others that you liked in the list?
Health Startup I didn't like as much as Health Finance, just because you'd want to start a health startup, but I don't know if you'd call your health startup.
Right.
So it's a great word. Makeup bars, I think if that comes into vogue, I don't know if it is. Maybe this person that owns the name knows more than I do, whether people actually go and hang out and put their makeup on together. Maybe that makes sense. Natural health drinks I liked as a better one. And let's see, Stay Younger I thought was the best of the brandable ones, because who wouldn't want to stay younger? So
what would you price that one at, Paige?
I put that at $7,500.
Okay. So what do you think is the most valuable one on this list, Paige?
That's a great question. I'll go with Medical Alerts, was what Esteban says.
And what was that value?
They say 23.
And what do you say?
I would take a lot less.
You'd take, would you take,
I'd take 10. I'd take 10.
You'd take 10?
Yeah, because it's not the alert that you're actually selling. Now, so this is a situation, I think Rick's talked about it before, where sometimes another word helps. So medical alert bracelets is the product that you'd be buying. You're not actually buying or selling the alert. You might be buying or selling the product that gives off the alert. So again, we're really picking picking through it here and being really critical of, what could possibly be wrong with it. But in terms of really being able to ask a lot for it, that's the only problem I had was whether the alert was actually the thing that you'd be selling.
Right. All right. Let's go over to you, Rick. What are a few of the domains on this list that stand out to you?
Well, it's a pretty decent list. There's some things where they have an extra word like cheap online cosmetics. It would be cheap cosmetics or online cosmetics, but cheap online cosmetics looks like you stuck an extra word there that really doesn't have any true value.
Right. We discussed that last week. The 3 words just decrease the value too much.
I want to kind of come at this a different way instead of just evaluating. I want to see some of these domains I think are really good doorways to large companies. And I want to give an example of that.
Okay.
LimitSalt.com. Okay? See, this is a domain where a company like Morton Salt could actually use it to their benefit, showing that they're concerned about their customers, and set it up as an information page to allow people to interact or help them use their salts in their responsible way. So I see an opportunity for a large company. And a lot of those, I think, what was one for the kids' breakfast? Healthy breakfast for kids, okay? Kellogg or one of those. See, when you talk about search to me, that's when search is important, okay? So that's where I think there's value in search. They still come through basically your front door or maybe a side door you have designed for your site, but you don't have to go out and hit Kellogg's or post all the time. You can have something, healthy breakfast for kids, and that becomes a doorway into your business that it's just more conscious of the consumer and caring, and I think they have value there. And so I see a lot of these domains that could absolutely be used by large companies to have that social connection. And you know what? It kind of goes what Owen Frager has been saying for years and years about some of these domain names and how these Fortune 500 companies are kind of missing an opportunity. And again, that's where search comes in. That's where when you have SEO people, that's where they're valuable. And anyway, but I'll get off of that soapbox.
Hey, but before you move on, Rick, let me ask you. You brought up 2 examples, healthybreakfastforkids.com and limitsalt.com, and I can see what you're talking about, that large corporations, consumer goods could take an active marketing role and use that to their benefit to show customers that they care and help educate people. But as a domain investor, if you own those 2 domain names, do you think people should sit on them and wait for the company to have that epiphany, to hire a marketing person that understands the value of a domain name and wait for them to approach you? Or would you suggest that the owners of those 2 domains go out and market them to those companies and try and get a sale?
Well, marketing to companies it's hard. I mean, and it can be done. It wouldn't be my preferred method, but I mean, if I own LimitSalt.com, okay, I guess the first thing you could do is obviously put some information out there and maybe get a doctor on board to talk about it. And, when it comes to developing or making websites, I'm not the authority on it. I'm just the authority on what I believe can be used when matched up with a really, really good end user that can make the most of it. And that's why I put Morton and Low Salt.
Right.
It's nothing more than Playtex supporting breast cancer, okay? I mean, that's all it is. And you're just taking it to the logical next step.
I understand that, but if I own these domain names, nobody would ever contact me from those companies. I'm looking at one person or maybe 10 people across the whole, world that work for that company that might have that idea. Should I, what do you guys think? Anybody else have any anybody else have any input on this specific idea? I think it's a good one, Rick, but is it actionable? Are these people going to pay 10 years worth of registrations and then realize that they've never had one inquiry on it?
Well, I think I'll let someone else answer.
Well, let me hear you first. Are people likely going to spend 10 years on registrations and never get an inquiry on no salt or healthybreakfastforkids.com?
I do it all the time. I mean, because my time horizon is a 20-year time horizon. My biggest factor is waiting for these companies and such to really understand the opportunity that they have. I have maybe too much confidence in them. Okay, that's what Howard tells me. I have give these folks too much credit, and maybe he's right because I've been waiting for 18 years for them to figure out something that's pretty simple.
Well, and you have some pretty phenomenal single word domain names or concepts, that you own, and it's not, healthy breakfast for kids, a 4-word. Paige Howe, let me hear from you. What do you think? You've got a lot of domain names that are similar to this, ideas or concepts around, domain names and businesses that might fit like this. What do you think that you would wait for somebody to contact you on these, or would you actually market them to the companies? I don't hear you. Paige?
I see Michael again, but I don't hear you.
You don't hear me? Rick? You don't hear me?
Well, now I do.
Okay.
Now I do.
Hey, Paige, do you hear me? No. Mike, Berkens, do you hear me?
Choppy, very choppy.
Oh, all right. Adam, do you hear me?
I hear you loud and clear.
Loud and clear. All right. Paige Howe, you're still muted, Paige. Can you, all right, let me hear you.
Hey there.
All right.
Hey now.
Paige
Hey
Howe,
now.
what do you think about those two domains? Did you hear my question?
No.
All right, Paige Howe, my question for you is Healthy Breakfast for Kids and LimitSalt.com. Would you market them, or would you wait, up to 10 years for somebody from those companies to contact you and make an offer?
I think I'd do one or the other. I think if you wait, then you say you're a waiter, and you get good at waiting. And like Rick does, you wait because you don't know if it's going to be on month 1300, month 150 or month 4 that it comes through. And then if you take an active approach, then I would start building a community. I would start building a community, trying to build people, build ideas, build content, and say I'm going to go down, that path. Each one has its own pluses and minuses. While you're building a community, you don't have much. So if someone from a big company calls and says, how many people do you have in your community? And you say 80. Well, they're not going to pay you a lot for the community. So you're kind of in a detriment there. On the other hand, if you've never done anything and they want it, and Rick has a way of finding out how they want it, which is just keep saying no, till they offer a big enough number. So I think, I don't think it's what I would probably develop, but I think it's doing one or the other and then saying that's my model and then building your finances and everything around that model.
All right. Mike, Adam, anything to add on those two?
I don't really like either name, to be honest. I mean, Limit Salt, I don't know, it just doesn't sound like a real great call to action. Obviously, Low Salt would be good, would be much better, I think. Limit Salt seems almost, short of a word in a way. I'm not, sure if, waiting for a company to come by, to buy a domain name to sort of decrease its sales or distract people from buying its products probably is not the greatest bet in the world. And Healthy Breakfast for Kids, I don't know. I think there's just too many potentially variables for that one. I don't like either one particularly.
Okay. All right, we're going to come back to Adam. Rick, before we move on, anything else on this list that you like?
Well, yeah, fitness planner. I can absolutely see that with an Apple app. Okay, so if someone that comes out with a device and the Apple app fitness planner can be very nice. Like I said,
if you had that one submitted to one of your traffic auctions, Rick, what would you set the reserve at?
It's hard to say because again, I'm going to weigh it through the eyes of a domain investor that has to have a big, huge upside. So I'm looking for the least costly domains that have the biggest upside. And so it's just two different ball games.
All right.
And so I'm not good when it comes to you asking me for a retail price. It's just not my strong point. These guys are so much better at it than I am because they deal with it all the time.
Sure. Okay. Anything else on the list that stands out to you, Rick?
Yeah, there was another one that I saw. Actually, I like Zip Busters. I mean, you know exactly what that is. You know, I like. Look, my number one thing is, you know, obviously, if you're not getting a one-word keyword domain name, the second best is getting a really good two-keyword domain name, or I mean, I should say a keyword preceded by a noun, adjective, or verb that really goes well with it. So anything like that usually makes my list. So once you go out of that, and if you take that, and then it's the size of the market. Multiply the size of the market. So if there's only 12 people on Earth that can look for the service, that's the biggest problem.
Yeah.
There is an app, by the way, Fitness Planner in the App Store. By the way.
There is.
There you go.
It's not surprising. There's a lot of apps. Adam, let's go over to you. What 5 or 10 domain names do you like? Why do you like them? And what kind of retail price would you set on them?
I'm going to go with registered. It's been a while since I've spoken. Are we not on that yet? All right. So I've heard everybody. There's been some really good comments on the names.
Oh, let me first by asking which domain is yours, Adam, since you're the last Sherpa.
All right. My domain is liberationtreatment.com. It is a new breakthrough treatment for multiple sclerosis.
All right. All right, good. All right, so what other domain names besides yours do you like?
I like Aloe Cleanser. I did some research. It's got lots of potential to sell the name to flip it to, or if you are so inclined to build a cleanser, you can brand one yourself. Affordable group health, I mean, it's not so bad. I mean, it doesn't say health care, but it's certainly better than expensive group health. Beauty trials, I think that's kind of an oxymoron. I don't know anybody who wants to try to look beautiful, but it's interesting. Concealers is good, best concealers. I'm not a big fan of delayed ejaculation. I like to be on time. Drink responsibly. It's one of the best names on the list. And here you can keep your head and drink responsibly. It's something I pulled off while you guys were chatting away.
What price would you set on Drink Responsibly?
I think you could probably sell it to Mothers Against Drug Driving, or make a great info site, or actually list the offenders that have been caught driving on a separate little tab, which apparently would include Mike Berkens. But maybe not. Well, not drunk driving, but he said he doesn't drink responsibly.
Oh, shoo. All right, so what would you price that one at?
He hasn't been, let's just clarify now, he hasn't been drinking and driving, so there we go.
No, I have not.
There you go. So that's not an accusation or fact.
He could be guilty of sitting and drinking, though.
Playing with my dogs and drinking.
So I think Drink Responsibly is a good name. I agree with pretty much everyone on the panel about Fitness Planner. I don't know how e-perfume would work. Maybe you'd get the computer to spray you when it comes out in 4D. Health finance, going back to Page, I mean, maybe you can finance Zip Busters. Go to every school, charge a kid $1 per pimple, and do some demos. I do like Rick's Healthy Breakfast for Kids, because these days, healthy breakfasts are important. Healthy Meal Guide is good too. You could build it out with some content. Something nobody mentioned was, or I think somebody mentioned, wasn't sure why, makeup bars. Very popular, growing even more popular, where you go in quickly, people do your makeup, you go to a party or something. Blow-dry bars are also very popular. I've done a few sites for blow-dry bars. We go in, you get a quick blow job, so to speak, and move on. So those are popular, blow-dry bars.
This stuff just makes up itself, man.
It does. I mean, what can I say? Medical Alerts is good. It's very brandable. It's got potential. And a name I like on here that I don't think many people like is, I like Mobile Day Spa. I think if you could make a mobile day spa and actually go to people's houses, I think it would be a great business idea. I don't know many people that wouldn't want it. I know there's a lot of stay-at-home moms that have kids, and when they put the kid to bed, they wouldn't mind somebody coming over and treating them like they were at a spa. So I think Mobile Day Spa is a really good business opportunity. I like natural. Sorry?
I was just going to ask your price. What about mobile day spa? It is a good business idea. I could see it happening, just like I have mobile, doggy showers and clips and all that sort of stuff. But a nice, not a dog one, but a nice one. What would you price that one at?
I mean, right now as it is, probably 1 to 5. But I mean, build a business on it, and it goes over 100K. I mean, build it. I mean, I think the terms are right. The terms are perfect. Mobile is great, and day spa is perfect. So I think it's a great domain name.
All right. What would you price fitnessplanner.com at?
Right now, I mean, nothing on it. It's still, you have to go 1 to 5 because there's nothing on it yet. But put a planner that includes things like exercise, food, and fitness, and now you've got a whole workout machine ready to go.
Sure. Aloe cleanser. What would you price that one at?
Well, let's go 1 to 5 because I think it's easily sellable or saleable wherever you are in the country, and I think it would be a name because there's millions of companies out there that are selling an aloe cleanser. So
yeah,
I mean,
it seems like most of the ones that you like are in the 1 to 5 range. Are there? What's the?
Well, I mean, they're 1 to 5 because they don't have businesses on them and they're landing pages. I mean,
right. So we're just talking about just the value of the domain name.
Yeah, I mean, don't come down on me, Mike. I can't take it. I'm very fragile.
What do you think is the most valuable domain name on here?
Well, I had an offer for 80K for liberation treatment that I'm working on, so I like that one. But I also I would like makeup bars if it wasn't plural, because plural it means more of a directory unless you own multiple ones.
Right. And
I'm gonna go with the business opportunity on mobile day spa, and I'm gonna go with drink responsibly.
Yeah, because that one's just such a
it's just
slogan
sitting
that's
there.
Almost used by I think every single hard alcohol and beer company on TV uses that phrase on their commercial.
I mean, I Googled it and I came up with this in 2 seconds. There's thousands of little images that say drink responsibly. So
yeah,
I mean, I think it's good, but I'm gonna stick with. I know everyone likes medical alerts, but I mean, I think the business is already pretty much tapped with the brand in that. So I'm gonna go with mobile day spa because I would love to build a business on it, and I'd love to call them and set them up in each city, and I would do Seattle.mobile day spa, as Rick loves to do, Toronto.mobile day spa, Miami.mobile day spa, and I would build a business, and I would go after different spas that already exist and have them become a client. So I like it.
All right, name 3 domain names that if you owned you would drop.
Well, this is funny because when you ran the thing through Estabot, you came up with the salad.la, and it says undefined by Estabot. So, Paige, I love that. They don't even know how to put a penny on.
They do that for the whole TLD, though.
5 domains I would drop. I missed breast rehab. Sorry, that is extremely important. There are lots of breast rehab clinics. On a serious note, breast cancer is a serious illness that attacks a lot of people and a lot of women. And there are a lot of good rehab clinics for breast cancer. So I like that one. I think I'd like it better if it was breast cancer rehab, but I think breast rehab is pretty good. So sorry, let's get back to the ones that I would drop. Clot formation, I mean, not sure what I could do with that one besides an info site, so I may drop that one. Let me see what else. E-perfume, not bad. I don't really like it. Dull skin, not sure who would want dull skin, but hey, what the hell?
Well, it's probably people who have dull skin that are searching for why it happens or something.
Well, I mean, I don't know. It doesn't do anything for me. I mean, there's a couple here. I mean, you have New York City hair loss twice, so I dropped one of those.
Yeah, a couple of those got in here. I don't know how that happened.
Scrub.co, nothing for me. Nothing at all.
Yep.
But, I mean, there's some good ones in here. I mean, there's some good ones.
All right. Mike Berkens, what's a few of them that you would drop if you owned them?
I think Beauty Work X. Not sure what the X refers to, but I don't think I like it. The post-babybody.com. I think that's sort of a rough one, a stretch for sure. Mm-hmm. The .la one is a hack, right? So that's, I think, a Spanish word, if it didn't have the dot in it. I didn't look it up to see what it meant, but I don't know, seems also kind of a stretch possibly, unless it's something, I don't know. I don't know what actually means. Health and beauty domain names seems, I don't know, it seems long and I don't really see that as sort of a marketplace that's going to stand on its own. So I would say probably those. And then beauty.tel, I mean, I just, the whole concept again about .tel is like .mobi. I know, we're not going to go rehash the .mobi thing, but, it is a technology play. I mean, it was a TLD that was based purely on sort of a technical play. So is .tel. It has a specific, method behind it, a specific purpose. You either buy it or you don't buy it. So it really, .tel is supposed to be, a billboard that gives everybody your contact information, so they can find, where your social networking is, and your phone numbers, and your addresses, and whatever email addresses, and whatever the information you want to give out. I don't really see how it's commercially viable for another purpose, like to sell product or anything. So I don't know how generics necessarily work with the .tel. I'm not a big fan.
All right. Rick, you had your post today about Mobies and the bath you've taken with .mobies. How many .tels do you own today?
I have a few.
A few?
I mean, I really, I've been pretty open to trying a few of everything, but I really can't say that I've ever had inquiries or it's paid off or, I mean, but again,
if you own beauty.tel, would you let it drop?
No, I'd keep it.
Yeah.
I'd keep it.
Because it's a single word, big industry. You never know what's going to happen with .tel in the future.
Well, don't go for a 3-word with a couple of dashes. .tel. I guarantee you that boat ain't coming in for 200 million years. Okay, so if you let me give you the worst domain on the list. Okay. Sorry, whoever owns it, but without doubt, drum roll, please, Adam. Can you give me a drum roll at least. I'll have to give them more notice next time.
Yeah.
Without doubt is post-babybody.com. Okay, that's a zero. Drop it. Means nothing. One dash for the other. That's crazy.
I already claimed that one.
Yeah.
Oh, you already claimed that one?
Yeah.
Oh,
what's another one, Rick? Name one more you would drop for sure.
Wait a second. You didn't ask for a drum roll or make as big a deal with it, or say this one is really in front of the pack. Okay, this one is so far out in front of the pack. Okay, the next one. Okay, well, you go, Berkens, how do I go after you? Of course we're going to agree on the crap, man. Okay, so you got Beauty works with the X I'm not too happy with. Clot formation doesn't do anything good for me. Okay, here, let's talk about a real sliver of an audience. Okay, health and beauty domain names. Okay, I guess if you want to make your living on a health and beauty domain, but it's just, you're really taking a sliver of it. It's just a little bit too focused for me.
Rick, I think that was registered as a joke for this show. I don't think it's a name you had forever.
I don't know. We'll find out. The registrant of that can post in the comments. What do you think about skin.org.uk? Single word, 4 letters, but it's a .org.uk. I don't even know anybody that owns it.
I never knew there was a .org.uk until just now. I am so sorry for the .org.uk people. You have no idea how bad I feel. I never heard of it until now. What do you want from me?
Paige, what did you say?
I mean, it all depends if there's a skin.com.uk. If you're the org guy and there's no .com and you get the skin.uk, it's a great name. And if not, it's not a great name.
Well, it's .co.uk, right?
But I mean, if for some reason the co.uk was held or trademarked or something, and the next place in line goes to the org and you could get it, that would be the reason it's valuable, the reason it's worth nothing. So it's worth asking the question.
Yeah.
I'm personally shocked that Rick didn't offer to buy Americans Against Obamacare.
Rick, do you want to make an offer on that one?
I try not to get too political.
All right, let me look. There was a
Mike, I have a couple more that I like.
Oh yeah, Paige, go.
So there's still some more that I liked on the list. I like cyber fitness. I think I didn't check it for trademarks yet, but I think the idea of whether it's health fitness or applying fitness on cyber, I thought that was a good name and it deserves mention for whoever submitted it. I thought soluble fiber for something that's important for a lot of people and is a word that is a key thing in a lot of products. And you try to figure out what it is and how to get it. So that didn't get mentioned, I think. So I thought that had some mention. And then I guess I got to talk about .la. So salud.la. So salud means health. So you say to yourself, oh my gosh, it's health in Spanish. What a great name for .la. And I think you're on the right track. The reason we probably didn't register it, and the reason it was probably available, is it doesn't seem to be a Spanish word that's crossed over a lot, like maybe, hombre or hungry or agua. There's a lot of Spanish words that have crossed over, but you really don't, I think people think of it more in terms of the drink and toasting someone and saying salud, as opposed to actually saying this could be a portal for all the health information for the Spanish-speaking community in LA. But it still might be worth it. But I think that was just the comment I wanted to make there on salud.la.
All right. Anybody notice any trademark issues with any of these domains off the bat? I'm not asking you, of course, to go in and look up trademarks that are registered for all these words, but does anything stand out to you? Or does it look relatively clean?
Pretty clean from what I can see.
I was thinking that too, that this is the first list that looked pretty clean. Drink responsibly, everybody uses it, so I don't think that one is one. But then when Paige was just talking cyber fitness, I thought to myself, isn't there like an exercise bike called Cyber?
It's CyberX. A lot of people call me about Sexy in America, and they want to know if I've trademarked it, but as of yet, I've not filed for the trademark.
Sexy in America? Is that going to be the new
It's a new page look. It's a new page look.
It's going to be the new tagline for .sexy, right?
Page.sexy.
All right. Any final thoughts on this domain portfolio of health and beauty?
Nope.
All right, gentlemen. We are going to spend 5 minutes on an audience-submitted portfolio. It's a small one. The audience member is Sari Winkler, and Sari wrote, quote, I studied for a year and then I hand-registered the domains for the first time. I'm retired and I have a limited budget to get started. My intention is to supplement my Social Security with domain name sales. They are due to be renewed or sold by January 14th. I'd appreciate anything the Sherpas can tell me about the value. How much should I sell them for? Wholesale, retail? What should I let drop? So let's try and be as direct and constructive as possible for Sari. I wanted to see, I'd like to see people secure in their retirement, have a strong strategy for their domain name portfolios if they're going to do it part-time in retirement, not waste their money. This list starts with threadcount.co.uk and it ends with noshnaturally.com. Adam, let's start with you. Which of these domain names do you like, and what might be the retail pricing if you own them?
The two that I think have some potential on this one are threadcount.co.uk, because the public is becoming more and more educated on thread count, whether it be in pillows, sheets, or whatever it is. Mostly in sheets, I guess. Mm-hmm. And people are talking about thread count. Me, I don't know anything about it. I just know the higher the better.
So what would you put at a retail value for a .co.uk domain?
I mean, I'd still leave it at 1 to 5 because there's no site there. I mean, it's hard to put, unless it's a generic, it's really hard to put more value on something without a site. But I mean, it's okay. It's certainly got some value to it. The other thing I like is monetize your apps, but I like it much better if it's not a domain name and if it's a solution to monetize apps. Then I like it a lot better. And unfortunately, those are the only two that I like in the portfolio. And that's all I can say.
Okay. Would you let all the other ones drop if you own this portfolio, Adam?
If I didn't see any traffic or any revenue, I don't really see anything here. I mean, I don't know what M Check-in Junkie is. So yeah, M Fitness Tracker. I mean, it could be mobile. I don't know. I would a hip stud. Maybe it's a belt accessory. I don't know. But yeah, I think I would let everything else drop and maybe take another year to read.
Okay, Rick, let's go over to you. What do you like on this list?
Well, it's for a guy that's on a fixed income and everything, he's kind of going mostly in the wrong direction, and it's I mean, the only one, there's only one that someone could even probably get their head around to make a go of it, and that would be monetize your apps. I mean, that's the only one I can see maybe Hip stud, maybe it could mean something. At least it's short in 2 words, but it's really stretching. Everything else, I would just, I don't see any value. I just don't. You know.
All right. Do you like the threadcount.co.uk?
Not especially. It would be okay if you wanted me to value a domain like that. I'd say hundreds of dollars, 100, 500 if you could sell it. I don't think it's that meaningful. I'm just try to stay with 2 words that mean something. Start with your base keyword and then just go down the list of every damn thing you can think of until you find one. And they're there. They really are there. But you got to dig. Think of it like this. If you go in your front yard and you pulled out a shovel and you dug 2 inches, you're not going to hit water, okay? If you dig a foot, you're not going to hit water. But if you dig 30 feet or 40 feet, you're probably going to start hitting water depending where you're at, unless you're in a mountain. So you've got to dig. I mean, people really do, they like kind of scratch the surface and then they give up and then they go to the ugly dogs or something, and they're like scared to ask the pretty girl to dance. I'm not sure exactly what's going on, but they don't want to dig deep enough. Just start with the keyword, and if you finally exhaust it, well, then find another keyword and do the same thing.
Yeah. So these aren't necessarily good ones because they're not tied to anything. They're just brandable domain names. So it's like a lottery ticket. You got it for a reg fee of $8 or $10, but
these aren't brandable. Listen. These have no value.
Hip stud could be. I don't know what the business is, but
right. It's 2 words. At least they're 2 words. Yeah, okay, I'm a hip stud. Yada yada. I mean, okay, but where's the business plan? If you can't pick a domain name and say, geez, if I can't sell lemonade for a quarter, what's going on? None of these are fit into anything that resembles a domain name. Okay, they're really not domain names. They're words and letters stuck together with a .com on the end. And I hate a guy on a fixed income pissing away his money, okay? But honest, sir, or young lady, whatever, I swear to you, you're pissing away your money. Go take this. Let me explain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's say you have 20 domain names.
There's 18,
so that's figure $200 a year for the next 10 years, and you have a fixed income. Go buy a $2,000 domain name and call it a day. Go find someone to help you buy one good $2,000 domain name. So maybe that domain name can help you supplement your income instead of creating bills. It's easy to create bills. These are right here are bills. These aren't domain names. These are bills.
All right. Good feedback. I believe Sari is a woman, if the picture on my Gmail was correct. Paige, let's go over to you. Is there anything on the list that you like that you would recommend keeping?
Well, I think we're stretching to find value because we want to be nice. We want to say to somebody that all their hard work had a payoff. I did monetize your app sounded great, but the fact that it has an S on it kind of lost me because you really want to monetize your app. But anyway, I would keep Cloudterra and WherePewters only because they may have some value in the future. I'd keep them for 1 year. With WherePewters, I'd actually try to see if people come up with that and start using that term with wearable technology or something like that and give yourself 1 more year. Cloudterra, you're just hoping someone needs a cloud name and their branding guy looks at it and says, hey, we like Cloudterra. But I think the other ones, like Rick said in terms of digging deep. If you just show up in the domain business and you take what you can get, they're probably not going to be valuable. And then you say, well, everything I want's taken. And then I think that's the start of domain investing, is to say, okay, everything I want is taken, and I don't want to buy what I can get. And then you have to start trying to find out how can you take your skills, your hard work to turn that equation around and find places where you can get domains that either should be taken that aren't, or you can see something that's going to be valuable in the future. But I'm not sure these indicate going down that right path.
Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't even see that wearable computers was WherePewters. I thought it was WherePutters to begin with, and I just didn't get that one. But now that you say it, I probably would keep that one for another year and see if it, starts trending in Google Trends. Adam has come on the show. Elliot Silver has talked about it a lot, how much they go to, cutting edge research journals and they look at what's coming out and they, try to find new procedures, new health solutions, new foods, or whatever, what's going on in the real estate industry for micro homes, and try to get domain names that are on a rising trend, not ones that are just, made up words, as to Rick's point. So, there are different ways out there to hand register today something that may be valuable a few years from today. Mike Berkens, let's go over to you. Any final thoughts on this portfolio that you want to share with Sari?
Yeah, I would just say that the only name I really somewhat like is the thread count one. She's in line to get the .uk without the .co in front of it when that rolls out, so that's probably worth keeping. Other than that, though, honestly, you could go through a drop list, just a free drop list of names that aren't committed to Namejet or Snap Names or any drop service, and you can find 20 better names every single day that you can get, with either a back order or a hand registered domain. So I don't think it's a question of trying to find a name that's, search around for a name that's just available, or, having to go out and buy, a few $1,000 name, which would still be better. But you can definitely, find much better names every single day on the drop list. And, so I don't know, you got to spend the time. It's it's lengthy. There are ways of sort of filtering it. There's some tricks to the trade, but in general, you kind of have to slug through the list and just do it for, a week, and you'd have probably a couple hundred pretty good names.
All right, Sari, we hope this was constructive and useful for you, and you're more successful in retirement with gathering domain names that fit some of the advice that the Sherpas have provided. If you have additional questions, you can post them in the comments, and we'll try and ask the Sherpas to come back and answer them, or we'll answer them in the following week. So make sure that they're focused. Next week, we're on a theme again. I believe Adam, Mike, and Paige have selected themes in the past. Rick, you haven't selected a theme in the past, have you?
I don't think so.
All right, I'm going to give you 4 themes. You get to pick the one that we're going to talk about next week.
All right.
Number 1 is science and math. Number 2 is politics, because I know how much you like politics. Number 3 is advertising and marketing. And the 4th theme that you have to choose from is LLL.com or LLLL.com. 3 and 4 letter .coms. Which one do you like best?
I don't know. It's between political and the marketing and advertising. Those are like very interesting. How about hybrid of both of those?
No, let's do one. One of them.
We straddle the fence. Okay, well, branding and advertising.
Oh, yeah. I thought you'd like that. All right. Advertising, branding, marketing is the theme for next week. Submit your portfolio using the button above. I'm closing down the portfolio at the end of the day, December 16th. That's Monday. So do not submit them after Monday. I'm sorry, I can't take them because we pull them all together for the Sherpas. All right, we're going to move on to the marketplace list. It's sponsored by Namejet. We've got some .com domain names that are going into auction soon, some of which may be submitted by users. You can have your domain names listed at auction at Namejet also. It's got a tremendous following in the domain investor community. I know I like to follow a lot of them. I don't think I see any of you guys on there very often. I don't know what your usernames are. Mike, I know you've got a big list, but I'm not sure what your username is. You're going to write it down? I don't hear you. You're still muted. Paige, do you get on Namejet?
I do. I get frustrated because their system's hard to search, but yeah, I get on there.
See, I think GoDaddy's is a hard system. For some reason, it's like, I don't know, it just isn't as straightforward as Namejet for me.
Well, I think at least you can save something to a watch list. With Namejet, it seems like sometimes you can search for a name that you know is there, and it doesn't show up. So
that's true.
It's all about the whole
too.
keys and if you haven't cleared your, and so it's like it just intuitively I'll search for a name that I've seen from another service that I know is there, and it'll say it's not there, and I just kind of throw up my hands and say, "What?"
Paige, remember it is a sponsor, you know.
Oh, sorry,
Adam, do you get on Namejet and
I
bid
do.
on domains?
I do. I've been on quite a few domain names, and I enjoy it. I love the system, and they should sponsor me too.
I love the domain name that was in auction last week, billable.com, and I was going to go up to a good number. I was going to go up to 10K. I thought it would sell for around 6 or 8K. I really like it because I like timesheets. It ended up selling for like 20 or 18,000 or something, and then I connected with the guy that bought that, and so I can't wait to see what he launches on there. He's going to build a time tracking system, which will be cool to see.
To answer your question, since I was muted, I'm hip hop on Namejet.
Hip hop. You're willing to say your username?
Yeah, I've been 10 years on it, or whatever long it's been in existence.
Don't go against hip hop. He'll take you down.
Well, sometimes. I got a couple of, I'm pretty active on it. Did buycondos.com last week on it. I thought that was a pretty good name, and I got outbid on getcash.com.
Getcash. That one was a high one. All right, we got 15 names from Namejet. It starts with BAK.com and ends with vehicleinsurancequotes.com. Some interesting ones in here. Rick, let's start with you. What do you like on the Namejet list today, and why?
Well, it's not quite as good as the Namejet list of the last few weeks, which have been really incredible, but let's go down the list. BAK, I guess for a 3-letter domain name, it's, spells something back, and okay. Not that excited about it, but...
But aren't most 3-letter domain names that have good letters, not an X or a Q, worth at least, $10,000 or so?
Well, I don't know what they're worth, but they're worth some money, and but usually by the time you get through the auction, people, by the time it goes through the process, it isn't that much of a value anymore. For me, it was a great value at $100 a pop. Okay, it's worth getting them. When they're starting to invest a few thousand a pop on the come, it's just a little bit different for me. So I'd rather go into a meaningful domain than a 3-letter domain, even though I know they're easy to turn. So
Okay.
Anyway, and getting back to the last portfolio. So here's a good investmentclasses.com. So if again you have your keyword, which is classes, and then you go right down the list of all the kinds of classes you can think of in the world, and well, there's one, investment classes. Okay, not the best domain name in the world, but at least it's a domain name that has some meaning. So at least these people at least got to get on the right track before they start keep peeing away their money, because if they keep doing what they've been doing, they're just going to keep getting the junk that they've been getting. So, like I say, stick with the 2-word domain names. There are all kinds of them out there. Investment link, you have .link coming out. So anything that has link.com and maybe decent could, if .link were to take off. So there could be something there. I kind of like mycupid.com. That's an interesting brandable domain name on that list, mycupid.com. The rest, I'm not that vehicle insurance quotes. A guy can make a living with that, maybe. I mean, it's a little bit long, but again, when you measure it against what I saw in the last portfolio, that becomes a great domain name in comparison to the portfolio because there's some meaning behind it. It isn't a domain I'd run after because it's very, very, very long. But anyway, and the one that I would probably stay away from is lapd.org. I don't think you want to mess with that. I don't know. lapd.org, I would maybe tell the LAPD that it's out there, but I think I would stay away from that, baby. And gene.com is obviously could be a good one.
All right. Paige, let's go over to you. What do you like on the Namejet list?
Let's see. Can you guys hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
Okay. My thing said it might be muted. Yeah, I thought gene.com was by far the best name on the list. I think besides being a first name, it could be a name for almost any company in the world. So I think it's a true storage of value probably. And it'd be interesting to see if it's a reserve name and someone's selling it because they want to get 150 or 350, then it's going to be a long auction, and at the same time, I doubt it's a full-on expired name. So, you have to try to understand, is someone putting this up to sell to the wholesale community, in which case, let's jump in and play ball, or is it someone saying, I think I'm going to get my 550 or 650 retail sale off NameJet, and so, that's kind of, it's kind of a fish out of water compared to when you're going through and looking for expired names that may or may not have value, and you see that one, you kind of have to step back and re-game plan for it, but it's a great name.
But I don't see very many names on NameJet where the owner puts it up there and expects full retail. Do you?
Well, I see it when I start bidding against reserve and bidding against reserve and bidding against reserve, and then you never hit reserve, so you have no idea how, and you hate bidding against yourself. So,
Right.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of names. I mean, there's definitely a substantial, portion of names that don't sell on NameJet because it doesn't hit reserve.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that gene is a name that has reserve on it.
Mm-hmm.
So, we don't know what that number is, but I guess we'll figure out what it isn't depending on the bidding.
Yeah.
And then I thought investment classes was my second favorite name on the list. Mm-hmm. I thought it's a real premium name, a real premier name, because it's a product or service that you can deliver online. You can collect the money online and deliver the product online for people. That's something that they should learn about. Del Campo is kind of a geo, but it's the name of a high school. It may have other meaning translated. I'm not sure, but that wasn't enough for me to like it as a geo. Easy Health Insurance, I didn't check for trademarks, but I would, I'd keep an eye on that one if I could get that one for a low price. I think it's a nice, easy to remember brand. It's the perfect word. I mean, it's not medical insurance, it's not healthcare INS, it's not, some type of substitute. I mean, it's easyhealthinsurance.com. So it's, it really is the top of the food chain, I think, for that, for what it is. Pennsylvania Health Insurance is the exact opposite. Not brandable, but the great keyword for there if you need to find out about their state insurance programs, and with Obamacare pushing everything to a state mandated type thing, that's one of the states I think that runs their own exchange, so that would probably give it a premium. Again, if it's a domain investor looking to top ticket at NameJet, then you're going to just bid up against a reserve. If it's an expired name and someone let it go and maybe their company went out of business, then you're going to get a true wholesale competitive auction, and you may have to pay high wholesale for it, but I think you'll get it at a good value. And then, anyway, that's what I liked.
Okay. Adam, let's go over to you. What do you like on the list?
Sorry, I was just registering mobiledayspa.ca.
Did you really just register that?
I really did. I like it. I think it's a good name, and I think it could be a great business for me in Canada. Anyway.
All right. So do you want to make an offer on the .com?
No, but not yet. But when I do come to Seattle, I'll give you a free facial, but not the kind of.
Wait a minute, buddy. Okay, we did not need to go there.
Oh my God.
Gift certificate is fine.
Let's go with nail cutting instead. I don't even know how to continue after that.
I'm going to skip you and come back.
I would pass.
I'll make it simple. The only one I really like on this list, I mean, Gene.com has value, but so what? I don't own it. I may bid on it. I don't know. I like the three-letter.com. I think it's. I'm still laughing. I think it's good. That's the best one I think on the list for me as far as value. I'm not really interested in anything else.
All right, Mike, what do you think?
I'm going on mute.
You should.
Yeah. I like the four names. I mean, the three-letter.com, Gene.com, mycupid.com, like Rick, Del Campo. Translates to field in Spanish. There's Casa del Campo, I think, in Dominican Republic or somewhere. So those are the four I like. I just looked them up. They all have reserves, so they're all owned domains that are being sold. They're not any sort of drop names. So I guess the only thing I really saw that was kind of interesting on the list. This BAK.com name gets an appraised value of $154,000. Seems a little bit excessive, maybe. I don't know, a little bit excessive.
What's your guess on the wholesale value that it will sell for if the reserve's low enough at NameJet?
I would think around 10-ish, 10 to 15.
Yeah.
It seems like a reasonable number. I mean, I did a quick search. I didn't see any, obviously every three-letter stands for hundreds or thousands of things, but this in particular didn't seem to stand for a lot of very valuable e-commerce-y kinds of businesses. So although it's has some good letters to it, I'm not sure It's that special of a 3-letter name. Again, a lot of charity stuff, a lot of, I don't know. It's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, Gene.com had an estimate value of $172,000. That seems a little high to me. What do you think the wholesale value will be if it sells at NameJet if the reserve's low enough?
Well, I don't think it's going to. I mean, that's two different questions. I mean, the Gene could definitely sell for 6 figures. I mean, to an end user.
Uh-huh.
What it's going to sell for a NameJet, 25 to 30 maybe. Would seem to be ballpark.
Okay. Nobody mentioned that they liked ussailing.com. Do you guys not like that one?
No.
No sailors in the crew here?
I don't know what the U.S. does for it.
Isn't there like a organization called U.S. Sailing, or I don't know? Sailing's big in the U.S. I think that there's U.S. Sailing.
I'm sure.
Could be.
But it's like what other people would call sailing here. So
USSailing.org.
I want to go do U.S. Sailing, but we wouldn't call it U.S. Sailing.
USSailing.org.
Yeah, and it looks
There
like
you go.
there's U.S. There are.
That might be trademarked too.
There are 23 trademarks with U.S. Sailing in it that I see on Trademark 24/7. You got to look at them to see, if it's cooking ware or whatever. But so yeah. All right.
Yeah, looks like it's going to be an issue.
All right. Any other feedback on this list? All right. I'm gonna go get my my $69 bids in on Back.com, Gene.com, maybe MyCupid. See what they sell for.
Okay.
All right,
Don't
Sherpas.
don't bid on Easy Health Insurance.
I'm not going to bid on that one. I know you like it, but it looks good on you, Paige.
Okay.
All right, we're going to move on to the lightning round. First up, registered or available. I named 3 domain names without looking them up. Fast fingers, Dicker over there. You're going to tell me if you think that they're registered or available. Last week, Mr. Berkens came back from his whirlwind vacation, went 3 for 3, dominated the game. Winner. Chicken dinner. All right, we'll see who's going to reign supreme this week. This week's DomainSherpa show documents why Ken Hansen left .nyc for the code.com registry. Interesting interview from Ken's perspective on what he thinks going to go on, what he anticipates the growth of co.com to be. So I wondered, is .co-registry.com registered or available? .co-registry.com. Hold them up, gentlemen. Let me see. Rick says available. Paige says reserved. Mike says reserved. Adam says available. And it is available. At least it was as of yesterday. So we got Adam and Rick in the lead. Next up, there's a lot of talk about the new top-level domains and how much the registration base will be from trademark holders and current registrants of the .com domains that want to get, the new one, top-level domain. It's a practice called defensive registration. So I wondered, is defensiveregistrations.com registered or available? Defensiveregistrations.com. Adam says that it is registered. Michael says that it is registered. Paige says registered, and we're going registered all the way across, right? Yep, I got you, Rick. Registered. It is available. Defensiveregistrations.com.
Look at Paige. He's on it. Look at Paige.
Not more.
Now, one of you 4 guys actually owns the singular, defensive registration. Can you guess who it is? This isn't worth any points.
I'll go Berkens.
I'll go Berkens too.
Then I go Berkens too.
Adam's looking it up to see if he owns it. It's Berkens. You don't need to look it up. All right, we're moving on to the third domain name. So we've still got Adam and Rick in the lead here. Last name of the day, you guys remember, do you guys remember like during the whole lead up to 2000, all the .coms that were raising money and going public that had no business plans? And then there was a media company that came out that documented the fall back to reality. It was called fuckedcompany.com. Do you guys remember that?
Sure do.
So it documented all of them. It sort of had this really harsh view on them and language. So I wondered, with all the new registries coming out, Rick, Are we going to have sort of the same thing? There's a lot of talk, a lot of hype about the new top-level domains. Are we going to have sort of a peak and come down? So I wondered, is fuckedregistry.com registered or available? You tell me. Hold them up.
Available.
Rick says it's available. Paige says available. Adam says registered. And Mike says available. And it is available. We have a winner. And it's Rick. Nice job, Rick.
Thank you.
I think this is the second
job.
first time, second time?
Second time.
Second time. All
Second
right.
time. 2 out of 12. If I was in the big leagues, they would have thrown me back to the minors in a heartbeat.
All right, we're not pricing them. We're just seeing if they're registered or available. Okay, let's talk about after show topics. Adam, you just posted on your blog that you closed a 6-figure sale of download.net. I want to ask you a few questions about that. Who forwarded me the email about cyber? I think it was Adam also. You forwarded me the email about entitled "Cyber Squatters Can Register Your Trademark in Minutes."
That's me.
Yeah, it came out from
Donuts.
Yeah, it's an interesting
Hey,
marketing
can I
campaign.
change my vote on defensive registrations now that it's taken?
You did not.
I didn't. Somebody did.
Who did? Who is .sc defensive registry?
Me.
Sounds like you're typing. Oh.
Me.
All right. There we go.
Adam.
Well, but Berkens has the trademark. I didn't mention that.
Yes, okay.
All right. So there's also
I'll settle.
.kiwi put some pricing on their premium domain names. I might want to discuss that if you guys are interested. Any other topics you guys want to discuss in the after show?
Well, Donuts is being pre-registrations are opening up, they're actually open up today, but tomorrow I think the press release is going out, so you can secure some of your new GTLDs for only up to $12,500 per domain.
That seems like a good deal. I'm going to ask you which ones those are. Paige, anything you want to discuss in the after show? Any topics?
Nope.
Nope.
Whatever we're talking about. The economy's getting better. People aren't as scared anymore. And they're finally going to let the Fed raise rates because it's not all terrible. We're not going to go into a depression. So I think we're starting next year with, it may not be as bad as people think. So I think the economy is going to do better.
All right. Rick, Adam, anything else you want to discuss in the after show?
No, not.
Okay. All right, 30 seconds apiece to promote anything you want to. What's going on, where you're traveling to, recent sales, upcoming conferences, whatever. Adam, let's start with you. I know you're heading down to L.A.
I am in LA starting tomorrow. I fly in, and I'm there till Monday. I'm looking forward to having a good meet with a bunch of domainers that live there in the area and doing a good seminar with Troy Rushton. Looking forward to it. Download.net, you already talked about. We're going to cover that in the after show. And the last thing that I want to say is that hoping during the holiday season, everybody continues to drink responsibly.
Keep your head. Mike Berkens, anything you want to promote?
Actually not traveling anywhere for a while. I'm going to be speaking at the new GTLD conference for brands and registries in March up in New York. And other than that, no, just, I'll second that. Did I ever get the affiliate code from last week? Never mind. For the drink
Yeah, I put your affiliate code up on the, I just used yours.
Oh, all right, well, that's great.
Paige, what's going on? I can't see the whiteboard behind you.
We'll do nothing on the whiteboard. You
Blank.
surprised me with a day early. We'll do the TVs and domain outlet for one more week. So if you want a new TLD and you don't want to pay the premium prices from the registries, come on down to the outlet, and we got something for you.
All right. And if I buy a TV domain name, what registry is it at? Where do you host all your domains?
Most of the time, they'll either be at GoDaddy or Name.com or Enom.
All right. So if I buy it there, you'll just push it over to me?
Absolutely.
All right. Rick, what's going on?
Well, I agree that 2014 is going to be a blockbuster year. It's absolutely going to be fantastic. We've been ramping up for the last 5 or 6 months now. And I think the number one indication that I see beyond our sphere is when I go driving around town now, I'm starting to see a whole lot of cranes going up, which I haven't seen for the last 5 years. They took them down a long time ago. But I don't know how it is on the skyline wherever you're living, but down here, those cranes are coming back, and if the cranes are coming back, the building is coming back, and if the building is coming back, everything else comes back, and away we go. And I think you're going to see a bull run big time, and you'll probably see real estate prices eclipse the highs of where they were just a few years ago in pretty short order for the parts of the country that are desirable to live and have a low tax base.
Yeah. I think you're right, Rick. I want to chat a little bit more about that with the panel here in the after show. A couple of things that I'll mention. I love to go to events and meet people. I love to go to traffic. I'm signed up. I'm booked. I can't wait to get to Las Vegas for traffic. I love anything warm in the winter, so I am heading to NamesCon in early January, and then of course dnseattle.com is a meetup that I'm organizing at the end of January at the top of the Space Needle. Fantastic sponsors, domain sponsor, and donuts.co have sponsored us, so we're at the top. Any proceeds that we generate are going to the Fred Hutchinson Cancer Research Center in Seattle, which is a state-of-the-art, world-renowned research center. So it's going to be a great event. If you are in Vancouver, down to Portland, over to Idaho, come on over. Luke Webster, a past Sherpa, he's driving over, bringing his wife. It's going to be a great event. Mike Berkens, I don't hear you. I see you talking, though. You going to come?
I'm just talking to myself. I mean, it's okay. Ignore me.
Hey, Judy.
All
right, if you receive benefit from today's show, post a comment below. Thank the Sherpas. Ask your questions, and we'll ask them next week on the show. Thanks to our submissions, our 70-plus submissions in the health and beauty. Thanks to Sari for submitting her portfolio. We hope it was helpful. Thanks to NameJet for sponsoring it. And, of course, thanks to our Sherpas for sharing their experience and insights. We'll see you all next week. Stay tuned. Click on the link below for the after show.